Welcome to Centauri Stir Fry. Stir Fry here. How the heck are you? Hope you're having a good day. Hope you're being excellent to each other. Today we're checking out this Sideshow Collectibles Catwoman statue. The reason why I'm doing that is because recently this Catwoman #1 showed up and I read it, and it's after the wedding. It's all sad and depressing, but it's a very interesting book, and the art is this is a variant cover. The art is by Artgerm. So he also did the art, the box art for this statue, which is really cool. I have to throw that up in the corner there, right there. He also did Harley Quinn, Power Girl, Huntress, Batgirl. He did them all. Then they came out the art prints, and people paid way too much money for them. But I wanted to show this off because maybe you're on the fence. Maybe you're looking to spend a lot of money on a Catwoman statue, and I think they're about to come out with another one where she's kind of crouched on some kind of gargoyle or building thing, and you're probably going to pay a lot of money for it. But you might be able to pick this one up for a steal, because I think it's pretty cool. It's pretty interesting. I like it. It's got a really awesome big diameter base. This is really big, and it's big. There's really cool line heads. I don't want to go through it. We'll get close-ups, but there's a black cat, the whip. It's mixed media if you're into that. 2 head sculpts. The exclusive is like a bag of jewels. I don't know. Ladies like jewelry, I guess. They like to steal that. Cat burglars do anyway. So then we'll get some close-ups. I'll show you that. Maybe, maybe make your final decision on whether you should pick this up for a reasonable amount or overspend on the new one. I might even just start doing that. I mean, Sideshow's redoing everything. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. So we'll check that out, and you can be the judge. Greetings.
Here's the Sideshow Collectibles premium format Catwoman statue next to the Batman Blackest Night Batman pop for like a size reference, Okay, here she is. The alternative portrait is down there by the side. But here's just an overview. She's very tall. I'm going to guess she's like at least 20, 22, 23 inches tall. Very tall. She's on a turntable, of course. She's looking really cool. There's the black cat. This thing is looking pretty awesome. I love the lions there, first of all, and just the overall pose. I think it's kind of hard to choose which side. I think it's probably the hardest part. Just, picking. Do you want to look at that? Or do you want to look at the, the back? Here's the base. Looking pretty cool. Let me try to move around here a little bit. It's awesome, though. I love the base. When I first pulled this thing out, I remember to this day, I opened up in like the kitchen table, opened this thing up, and I love the sculpt of these lions here. These little gargoyles, hanging on the edge of the building here. And I love, it's like a stone look. It's kind of tan. It might come off a little whiter than it is, but look at the the brick inlays there. It's really cool. These skulls are so cool. Not skulls, but lion heads are awesome. I hate my turntable. Some pretty good shading here, and it looks like a rock. That's my favorite part. It's like the brick behind the lion heads. Like I said, there is another version of this where it's fully sculpted, and it's kind of the 80s version. I've seen a lot of really weird videos where her teeth are messed up. And it's strange what they did with the base. It's like they put these weird gargoyle heads on there, but they're not I don't know what they are. I prefer this. It's all cat related, and I think it's awesome. And I really like the brick behind this. I think they did a really good job. Kind of spotty there in some areas. This thing does not want to turn. She's not heavy, but she's a decent weight. I'm going to guess full weight for this lady is, I don't know, maybe 10, 15, 10, maybe 10. But I think the base is really awesome. Like I said, there's 2,000 of these things. This is exclusive. I'm not sure what number it is, in the 200 or 300s. Who knows? But I think it looks pretty good. Let's go a little further up and look at that cat. Okay, here's a close look. There's the boots, looking pretty good. And you got this, there's the whip, which is like a wire. It's like a rubber, wire with I don't know. It kind of takes some time to manipulate, and I don't know. I kind of like the idea of it because it's supposed to wrap around her, which is pretty cool. But I really like the cat. Do you guys see that cat? Look at that. It's got those little eyes, the light's hitting them, so they're kind of glowing. It's like a gold paint on it, but it looks pretty cool. I like it a lot. It's pretty nice. This thing is not one to turn. I need a new turntable. Pathetic. They did a pretty good job on the hair on the cat. I think it looks pretty good. It just kind of sits in with a peg. That's kind of what it does. But I guess the 80s classic version, they call it a modern version, but the classic version of Catwoman does not have the cat. So there you go. Let's go a little higher. Okay, as we try to attempt to turn this turntable, which is now defunct, but you can kind of see the brick inlay. It's pretty cool. There's some texture on there. Kind of shows the brick, and there's some like mortar in there, and I just think it looks really good. It's really large. Like I would say, the turntable is like, I'm guessing 12 or at least a foot. And so this whole thing almost takes up the whole turntable, which is really awesome. This is a really big base, and it's really cool. It's very classy. Okay, now we're looking at the exclusive here. The exclusive is just like a purse filled with like jewels. You guys can see that at all, but it's just some semi-shiny jewels. And the suit is actually fabric. It's like a faux leather, and it's been pulled over the uniform pretty tight. I forgot to mention that the boots were fully sculpted, and then somehow they, I guess, glued it. Who knows how they're doing this, but it wraps the legs and body pretty tightly. I actually think it's pretty cool. It's pretty realistic. I dig it. And then you can see the rubber whip. It's like a rubber whip with a wire inside it, so you can pose it in any way you want. Pretty heavy duty though, but it does take time to get it the way you want. Okay, and now we're to the midsection of her. You can see the hip bones there. It's pretty tight actually. And then you see this little zipper here. I've seen pictures where they actually unzip the whole thing, because you can kind of see that it's cold out there in Gotham, and people were actually trying to undress her, which is, it's perfectly logical. I understand that. Then we work our way around here. Here's the part of the arm that comes off. Got a magnet on it, so this hand is a part of it, right? So it's sculpted to the wire whip. It just fits in there. That's pretty standard though. So there you go. Come around to the back side here, which I think is the part that the pervs were kind of, I'm not going to call them pervs. I mean, they're just, people who are wanting their Catwoman suit just a little tighter, a little more snug in the butt area right here. Because it kind of, it's definitely like meaty. Like she works out, she does a lot of squats. She's very fit, for sure. But some people complain that it wasn't tight enough in there. And I guess I understand, but for me it didn't really bother me. It just looks more realistic to me. And you can see the seam going up through the middle, it goes up through the back. It's really nice. It's a very well done suit. I still don't know how they do that and how they dress them. I mean, who do they hire to dress these people or these statues? I mean, I'm going to guess only the Chinese can pull that off. Again, I love that fold right here. Look, this is the torso area, right? Here's the thing you can actually pull down a zip. I haven't tried it, or maybe I'm lying to you. But here's a little fold here. I really think that's cool. Like how she's twisting, right? She's like, the cops are there. She's got the bag of jewels, and she's like twisting around to like whip them and take their guns from them, or maybe it's Batman. It's a really cool pose and really cool look to her. And like I said, it's a little chilly out there, so like the suit is it's stressed out, but like the skin tone is really nice. It's really cool. I dig it. And like these folds here in the armpits, just I don't know how they do this. Like if they put some kind of like time release glue on there, but I think it works pretty well. Although to be honest, I think the suit's kind of a little stressed out. It's seen better days. I'm not sure how well this premium format stuff actually. Premium format in the back in the day used to be like a mixed media. I'm not really sure how long it's going to last. I have questions about that. That's why I'm kind of leaning towards I prefer sculpted materials. But I do think this is kind of amazing. So I think it looks really good. The light captures it. You can see the musculature underneath the body, and the costume is really cool. The collars pop there. She's not kidding around. There's seams in there. I think it's really cool. I just wonder where this industry is where it's gonna lean towards. If it's fully sculpted, I mean, these guys are so good. Like, I guess they can go work for Hot Toys or something, but who do a really good job too. But it's just very impressive that they build these statues. They're fully sculpted. They're heavy sculpted bodies, and they apply these costumes on top of it. I think it's pretty impressive. This is the head with the goggles, which was standard. I think it looks awesome. Now we'll check out the alternative portrait that has like her goggles on top of her head, and there might be some people that consider that standard cross-eyed sideshow. We'll see. And we're back. Okay, so here's the ungoogled Catwoman, which I think she's looking pretty good from this angle. I think she looks great. This is not a Catgirl, this is Catwoman, so I feel like her face is a little bit more mature. I mean, she's not old or anything, she's probably like, what, 29 years old, 28? Maybe? That's the look I'm getting, but I think it's pretty good. And people were complaining about the eyes, but I think the face sculpt is really good, and it's just like Sideshow really knows how to get expressions right. And I like when they take a chance and actually try to get the like an expression out of their statue, which I think they're like one of the best companies to do that. I think that face is pretty cool. She's very confident, very cocky. She just flipped out of a building, took all the jewels, and Batman and the cops are after her, and she's not too worried about it, you know? That's that look. So whether or not those eyes are crossed, I don't know, but for me it works. I think the makeup's done pretty well. It's not overly done, but I think it looks good. And I really like that smirk on her face. So she's just super confident. She's just like, I got this. You guys will never, ever catch me. You'll never see me again. I like the confidence. There's the color again. I mean, it basically fits the same way as the first head. So I think that's going to do it. I mean, I think it's a really cool statue. Just depends on what kind of money you want to spend. You want to wait for the new one that's pretty expensive, or maybe you want to get the old school one. You know, it's up to you. But I think it's done well. I think it's pretty classy. My only concerns are how long these costumes will last over time. So, but in the meantime, I think she's looking pretty good. So let's end it there. And we'll say this is the end of the episode, okay? Remember, spay and neuter your pets. And Maggie knew was right. We'll see you next time, guys.